Is this thing on? Hi guys, my name is Abby and this is the Just Flip It podcast. On this week's weekly roundup, the first thing that caught my eye was Pret a Manger is reportedly planning on buying rival Eat and turning the chain's 94 stores into veggie outlets. Pret currently has 400 stores, and I think if you've been to London, like on every street corner you see a Pret or you see an Eat. I'm thinking this is a fantastic move, and it seems that everyone is now on this vegan or veggie flex, so hey ho, make your money. But I wonder what the Competition Commission would have to say about this, because they will dominate the sandwich market. So who are they? Who are their rivals? With the likes of Greggs? How do Greggs feel about this potential merger, which, from what I've read, is near enough complete? Watch this space. Next article I saw was China threatens US over Huawei sanctions. Unless you've been living under a rock, you would have known that there's this escalating feud between China and the US, and it's just going to get worse basically. So in the latest move, the US have placed sanctions on Chinese goods, and in particular they've blocked Huawei products from being used in US networks. All of this back and forth, what does it mean for you as a customer? What does it mean for the UK? I don't think anyone really knows. I know that several governments are trying to calm the situation, but if you've got two strong governments or strong leaders, it's more than likely that you're going to get this type of combative response or reaction, or not really much in the way of diplomacy. And I'm going to end on a property one. So I've seen that mortgage approvals increased in April 2019, which is really, really good actually. I'm quite surprised because of all this doom and gloom Brexit talk. That's pretty fantastic. There was an increase in mortgage approvals. 65,000 were approved, which is an increase of about 2.7%. Yorkshire came out on top for first-time buyers, followed by the Northwest, Birmingham or the Midlands, which had an increase of about 35% and 31% respectively. And London, unfortunately, had a much tougher time at 18%. That's because everything is just stupid expensive in London. But on the whole, yeah, it's really, really good. Okay, stay tuned for the next part of the pod. So this week on the pod, I'm going to focus on essays, which was the other no money down strategy I spoke about last week. By essay, I mean serviced apartment, serviced accommodation, furnished holiday let, etc. This is a fantastic strategy because if done right, you can make a considerable amount of profit. Disclaimer, please, if you are doing this and are using the rent to rent strategy, make sure that whatever property you are renting, that you have the mortgage lender or the bank's permission, unless they are the freeholder, whereas you just need the landlord's permission. If it's in a block and there is a management company, make sure that the management company are aware of what you are doing, because there have been instances where people have been running this. The management company wasn't aware, they found out, and then they kicked them out. And you don't want that to happen to you. If you're still a little confused as to what I mean, think about it this way. Think about Airbnb. So you're practically running an Airbnb style business. And like with any strategy, there are things that you need to be aware of and you need to consider. So I think, first of all, I'm going to touch on the whole 90-day rule. In London, in particular, there is this 90-day rule whereby you can't let your flat or whatever you're renting for more than 90 days without planning permission. And the reason for this is because there is a real housing crisis and loads of people are looking for rented accommodation. So in order to stop landlords or property owners from removing those flats or houses that people need off the market, the government has decided to enact this 90-day rule. So wherever you're based, just make sure that you do your due diligence. This strategy is slightly different from HMOs in that HMOs, once you have a tenant, if they're a good tenant, you're in luck. If they're not, well, you're screwed. But you have a good tenant and then they should be there for a minimum of 6 to 12 months. With essays, there's a lot more to consider. You've got things such as your cleaning, your linen, making sure you take the payments, ensuring you have a booking manager. So that is a system that enables you to advertise the flat or the rental property over a number of different platforms and ensures that you don't get double bookings. You've got to think about your marketing. You've got to think about the actual arrangement and the setup of the actual flat to make it accommodating. You've got to think about health and safety, fire procedures in the event of a fire. So there are different parts that all work together in order to make this a smooth running operation. So it's not as straightforward as HMOs, but with high risk, there's high reward, as I keep saying on this pod. Oh, and I also forgot to mention you need to take out public liability insurance. Remember, this will become a business, so you need to make sure you understand what your competitors are doing in and around your gold mine or your key areas where you are looking to expand your business. So, yeah, that's the roundup on essays. If you have any comments or you just want to talk to someone about this strategy, please hit me up on flipitpod@gmail.com and I'll be more than happy to help. Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Here's me signing off and stay tuned for the next one.